Hospitals are one of the first indications there's a problem with consciousness. Cookies and crackers and sweet drinks and cheeseburgers and romaine lettuce with some described substance called Caesar dressing. Comfort food, home-cooked food, pieces of cake and cookies, and doctors focused and concentrated with nurses aware and attentive. And not once in 36 years, anyone who's ever talked about not only consciousness, but energy and the importance of acquiring nutrients and substances and foods to nourish a body and re-energize a brain. Doctors and nurses and professionals in hospitals and doctors' offices and university college medical programs, schools, emphasize heart disease and not to eat too much meat, benefits of vegetarianism and veganism as an option for solving climate change, growing meat in labs instead of having animals provide protein and nutrients. Less fat. More fruits and vegetables. A food pyramid in the 90s and early 2000s, from what I remember now. Staff, doctors and nurses at hospitals on their phones in halls, with their awareness and attention multitasking, eating pizza in a cafeteria, a bagel in the morning for breakfast, and occasionally a homemade meal brought to their workplace. There's so many people saying what to eat, what not to eat, when to eat, why to eat. But nobody explaining the benefits for body and brain in world. A body and a brain in a world less trained and restricted and controlled and told what to eat, when to eat, why to eat, and better choices and options available than those they say causing disease and disorders, obesity and diabetic insulin requiring shots. using more control tactics and strategies similar to military and police and governments. Not only using brain against body, but telling body what brain needs to do with their posture and their gestures, language and their dialect, mathematics and chemistries and hormones, lab tests and brain scans and body x-rays. Writing books about diets and carnivore and Long Beach and Atkins and keto. With no overall explanation for what they are talking about having to do with consciousness. Instead, talking about a heart, a lung, and other anatomy using language. Slowly allowing some psilocybin in a clinic and some ketamine in a chair. But never allowing freedom to learn about consciousness aside from a vacation on a beach in a house rented in a pyramid with glass and a bed for a husband and wife to enjoy their reward for their hard work, providing stimulation and exciting and beautiful visual and quiet and peaceful auditory time until they return to a civilization where they continue in a system with processes involving stimulation, reward, behavior, language, mathematics, and war, poverty and suffering, death and dying, and starvation. Hospitals and doctors and professors in colleges teaching medical school students about books they rent and buy to treat a patient for a disease, a disorder, or a described problem. Emphasizing intelligence and brilliance and genius and hard work. Solving mathematical equations with their hands and their brains working together, synchronizing energy and thought. And their bodies learning to be strong and powerful within a system they've learned has benefit from research they've conducted about correct and incorrect decision making. Activities with the stimulus consciousness, rewarded by an economics for those genius, brilliant, intelligent thinkers and thought cognition knowers. Are repetitive, filled with novelty and new ideas and new philosophies and theories and mathematics on pages and websites with material. Advanced technology to drive and fly, islands to visit and oceans to swim in, businesses to shop at, and for activists, windows to break, walls to graffiti, humans to harass, and weaker, less aware humans to bully. Unfortunately, a boring, disgusting, emotional disaster. With few options other than meditation available and rituals and practices from spiritual traditions and religions, to not be bored, and at risk for some disorder or disease or cancer or paralysis from a body and brain, living on an object in outer space, addicted, obsessed, and unaware. Their focus and concentration and attention are simply a stimulation waiting for a reward, working towards another stimulation and another and another and another reward. Now,